How do we correct this sentence? Okay, so first of all, let's label them. So this means you by, wrong form of the verb.
I was going to say.
Yeah, excuse me. Wrong form of the verb.
But actually,
Okay.
you just gave a good example because if you were first starting to speak Dee-ni, you wouldn't change it. That would be you
Yeah.
by because that's how English is.
Right.
So that was actually
Very,
right.
very right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
You got
Okay,
it.
so this means you buy it, and this means apple. Okay. All right. So what part of speech is this? Is it your verb?
Pronoun.
Okay. Well, yeah. In this case, it's the subject, right? Because it owns the verb. Okay, and this is the verb, and this is the object, right? So there you go. SVO. See what I'm saying? Now we need to correct that for Dee-ni. Okay. And now what do we know? So we can go back up here, and you tell me, class, what to write first. What word am I going to write first to correct this?
None.
Okay, good. Excellent. You're exactly correct.
A.
And now we need the A, correct? And now we need the
Fine.
height. Height. And so when you're transcribing, writing down in another language, they do at least 3-line entry. But so a good way for our purposes, though, we could say, okay, so none means you, and this means apple, and this means second singular you by it. Oh, put a hyphen here. By it. Okay. Now, in free English would be you buy an apple. Okay? So that would be free English. So this is free Dee-ni, means correct. This means, just a transliteration, and this is free English. So free Dee-ni and free English. So you go buy an apple, or you're buying an apple. You buy an apple. Okay, and I'll buy the cheese. Okay, we're gonna go to lunch. Okay. Okay.
I just said I can talk about like the none is necessary.
Yeah. Well, okay. So okay. Before I jump there, good point. Now, if I say let's make this into a proper or a full noun, what kind of a word would that be? A full noun? Because this is what kind of word? This is a pronoun, right? So give me, what would be a full noun in English? Just a full, what's it mean? Like just a noun, not a pronoun, a non-pronoun. Just give me a noun. A person.
A person?
Give me a person.
Name?
Officer.
Huh?
Officer.
Huh? What?
Doctor. Clerk.
For this sentence?
Oh.
I'm just going to try and make one jump. Okay, so how about the man?
The man.
Okay.
The man. The man.
Oh, wait a minute. So this is going to, it's going south too fast. Okay. What Gaish's point is that because this language inflects inside the verb, we know the subject of the verb already because it's in the verb. It's in the verb. Now see what happens in English, Cindy made a point just a second ago, that we'll take a word, a noun, and we'll add all these words around it to make it function. We'll make it run, we'll make it peeled, we'll make it cook, we'll make it bought. Where this language puts the subject in the verb itself. Now the reason why this is you-height and this is height, there's a reason for that. This means 3 single by he, she, or it. By.
It tells you who's doing the action inside the verb, right?
Yeah, so this here means that he, she, or it is buying the apple. This height, you're buying it. You-height, he or she's buying it. See, it looks different. See how the verb root's the same, right? Yeah. I'll explain that to you. Okay, so then here's so this is so here's the man. Here's the apple, and kind of missing Gash's point. If I would have said
I mean, all I have to say is, you don't have to say like the first sentence, your first nun, apeth, amchai. All I have to say is apeth,
You-
And
amchai.
it makes sense without the none, is what he's saying.
Yeah, so the point that Gosh was making, and I kind of overshot the target a little bit, is that, see, because this is a pronoun, right? So what the language does, on page 114 in your book, I have a chart, I think it's 114. Yes, I have a chart on 114. And if you turn to 114 and take a look at that chart for a moment.
In English, that pronoun is necessary to get information about the verb,
Yep.
right? In
Mhm.
Dee-ni, it's already included in the verb. so
Inside the verb.
The pronoun
It
is,
changes. Okay.
yeah,
That's
well,
why
the
it
pronoun, you
changes.
can use it, and that's perfectly fine, but it's unnecessary.
Yes,
Right.
unnecessary.
You
So,
don't
so
It's
to go back,
repetitive.
Yeah.
to go back to Guy's point, we could do this, which means, when you're writing language stuff, this means optional.
Okay.
This is actually
Oh,
optional.
okay.
I could just say, hey, I'm fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
so
buying
know
that
what you
one.
like.
Yeah, so you don't have to put the none on there.
Simple.
Yeah,
It's not wrong, it's optional.
it's just different. You see,
Yeah.
we don't require that because means you.
And it only means.
You is already in that verb. You know, you don't have to be extraneously over here in your own position. But we got to that transition by going from an English construction, see what I'm saying, to get to this, to make the point, which I think you all got, hopefully.
You Apple, you buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Apple, you buy it, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I've even heard like when linguists were asking three sisters the same words. And so, she, shmene, my house. The other sister said shmene, my house. But some did double inflect it, she, shmene. Yeah, my house, and that's not ungrammatical. It's just a different convention of speaking the language, but it's really not a thrifty use of the language. is
I
all I'm
noticed
trying
that
to
in
say.
some of the tapes of the elders, one
Yeah.
is a little different. It's like, why is it a little different? That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because they're just double inflecting, and it's
Yeah.
not wrong, but it's
It's extra
unnecessary.
information.
Yeah, and yeah, it's extra information you really don't need because we already know this means you buy it, you know, or you are buying its present tense. Okay, so that was just to show you that real quick on to kind of go in that direction. So in this chart now, back on 114, if you it says present tense pronouns. See, one S means who?
Oh.
Me,
I.
I. Okay, look at I.
Me,
Okay.
I.
Second singular means you alone. I'm talking straight to you, right? Third singular means I'm talking to him, I'm talking to her, or I'm talking to it. So it could be the cat, it could be the dog, right?
You're not talking to, you're talking about though. Right? On third singular, it's about somebody, not to somebody.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make the point that you're talking
It's
about
easier
them.
moving.
Yeah, you're talking about he's buying it, she's buying it.
112, maybe.
Oh, maybe 12 is a little bit
Yeah,
easier.
112 is a little bit clearer.
Well, it's not so expansive.
Yeah, it's simpler.
Oh, that's that one. Okay, that's a little different. Okay.
But it's a little bit.
So
Those symbols mean the same thing.
Well, first of all, the whole point of that is trying to get you to understand what 1S, 2S, and 3S is, 1D, 2D, and then sometimes there's a 3D, which is in parentheses, you see that? And a 1P, a 2P, a 3P, and a P. Now if you flip that same information to both 4 and 14, you can see what I'm saying is that first singular shut. Okay, so we're kind of jumping over down to the next piece, but okay, all right. All right, I was going to do that next. But maybe we're done with this. Maybe, let me go back. Maybe we're done with this. I think you all get to the point that word order, word syntax in Dee-ni is different than English, right? And, okay, so, all right, I think you go ahead. And then I was going to move through each part of speech. But you know, listen to this. This is a great thing. Okay, so sha in present tense, like I am running, you are running, we are laughing, I am laughing, I'm talking. The sha, you can see it's sh, right? So it's sh. There's a hyphen after because it means it's a part of something else. That's why that's there. And it comes from the word she, which means who? It means I or me.
Me, myself, and I.
Sha. So for the language now, so that is a pronoun. Now this is a full pronoun called an independent pronoun. She, like who did that? She. Yeah, you even say who did that? You go shh. You know, your response would be a full she, me. Okay. But when you're using it in a verb, you just borrow a piece of it, the sha. Okay. And it goes inside the verb. Okay. Now.
Yeah, I did.
Right, well, that's a noun.
But I'm just saying,
So now the next category, so this is first singular, second singular is going to be you. You are buying, you are cutting, you are telling, you are running, you are laughing, okay? And the language borrows an N, or uses, and it also has an M, and it also has a tilde, which is the same thing, and it comes from the word none, which means you. None. Who did it? You. See? None. And that's a full pronoun. This is a piece of a pronoun. Okay? Now, looking at 3S, 3 singular, the chart says 0. Okay? None. I couldn't find a null sign that day. So this tells you that in the third person structure of a verb, the subject is never shown. It's always 0. And that tells us, we think, that that third person form is the shortest form of the verb. It's the simplest form. He, she, or it doing something is the shortest form of the verb. Okay? And so there's a 0 there. And then going on down the chart, let's just talk about it. I don't want to write it up here yet. Okay, so the next one is 1D, first dual, means you and I. Let's dance, let's cut wood, let's peel apples, let's run to the beach. Okay, that's the let's form. The second dual is you two run to the beach, you two cut apples, you two stop laughing. I'm talking specifically to 2 people. I'm not talking to all of you, I'm only talking to 2 of you. Okay? That's what 1D and 2D mean. Okay? Now, first plural is all of us. We're all laughing, we're all cutting apples, we're all running to the beach. Okay? It's all inclusive of everybody in the room. Okay? That's first P. Second P is, now I'm over here going, you all stop laughing. You all are going to run to the beach. You all go peel apples. You all go chop wood. You all start cooking dinner. So it's me talking to you as a group. That's that you all form that we don't use in California.
everyone.
Yeah, or you guys.
Yeah, you guys.
Everyone. Yeah.
Now you're back in Arkansas.
Yeah. All of you go cut
Yeah.
apples, whatever the verb is. But we don't say y'allsins or y'all, right?
But interesting, on the East Coast, when I went over there, they say use.
Oh, use.
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 Yeah.
So with the S on the
Yeah,
U.
they just, yeah.
Yeah.
So, huh?
They probably down south is yowers. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then it goes to 3P, which means they. They, them, And then the chart just gives you a blown out thing, and we'll get into that whole thing later. All those 3Ps mean they. They or them, or those people, are doing cutting, laughing, going to the beach. And then P means the passive. This means that we don't know who the subject is, we just know it's happening. Every night, somebody runs past the house. I don't know who it is. So there's a verb form just for the unknown subject. It's called the passive. The passive voice, like, somebody cut these up so nice. Somebody wove this beautiful basket. See, the word wove and cut and run would be in the passive form. It wouldn't be in one, so it's a deliberate form of the language. So you can talk about it in the passive voice. And those also turn into nouns. That's a whole other thing. But that's what these letters mean. So now, let's use some concrete examples of this. So there are basically 2 kinds of verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs. And so let's start with an intransitive verb. Okay, let's start there. So intransitive verb has no object. Okay. So, an intransitive verb are verbs that we participate in every day of our lives that include only us. Pretty much. Like sleep.